Hey everybody, I'm Lex.
I'm Jordan at PDQ.com.
Surprise, surprise. It's the week of Patch Tuesday, which generally means what?
PDQ A.
There you go.
Or a reason to drink.
PDQ
Is there's always a reason to drink. Speaking of Patch Tuesdays, just to get started, a little heads up on what's coming out with the patches this week.
There are 44 total, not counting the Chromium that came out earlier in the month. I think the number's that low because of all of the out-of-band issues that had to be fixed. They probably weren't working so much because we've been averaging around 100. So we got half the number of updates we normally get, and I think it's just because so many exploits got out in the wild the last couple of months. So it's probably, I imagine it'll come back up.
Getting out in the wild, it's like they went hiking or something. I mean, just
the highest rated one is at 9.9, but it was like a theory. Like it wasn't a proven one yet, so it's not quite that serious yet, but still patch it.
Guys, Jordan makes a video every Patch Tuesday about what's coming out and what's happening. So, it's a great place that Jordan can spoon feed to you what's been going on.
And 2 more critical patches for the print spooler. So I just don't think we're ever going to get that back.
I love the print spooler. Just kidding. Hey, and one final plug here, because they gave me a note, and I said we are going to be at Spice World this year, guys. It's virtual. It's the 27th through the 29th. So if you want to catch, I know I'm going to be doing a little bit of a presentation there. It's going to involve being lazy and some scotch. So maybe even Jack and Coke is what I'm drinking today. So with that, should we try and do question and answer?
Let's answer some questions.
All right.
All right, we got a new question asker today, question reader, I should say. That is
Kelly
Chase.
too.
Yes, he's filling in for Kelly. So let's, you ready, Chase?
Heck yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do this.
All right, y'all.
Let's take the first question.
All right, here we go. This question is from DeNorth. All of my workstations are showing a reboot is required. This never changes. Did Microsoft change something?
I'm pretty sure Microsoft didn't change anything there. A couple of things you do need to know about that. We do check a couple of spots to determine whether or not a machine needs a reboot. I believe the main spot for that is in the registry, I believe. That being the case, let's say you do update your machines, reboot your machines. You update them, you reboot them, right? You still need to have that scan run to go verify that it's actually been done. So that's probably the third part of that. Just make sure, after you've done your updates, run that scan, and it should, I believe, clear those for you.
I will say this: if you want to reach out, if it's still a problem, and after you rebooted, there could be an entry in that key that we are not excluding. All you got to do is just grab the value of one of those machines that it was rebooted and it does not need a reboot, and send the value of that or any of the strings in there to support. And if we're not excluding that, because there are some applications that keep a persistent value in that key, which makes no sense.
So in the chat, Shannon says Firefox is currently doing it as well.
Is it? Okay. Good to know. We'll check into it. And I'm going to poke that thing because it just fell off. Okay, there we go. Right. Should we hit the next one?
Let's do it.
All right.
All righty, guys. This one is also from DeNorth. Let's see. I see a message that shows 76 unused files in the repository. Is there a way to automate repository cleanup? DeNorth.
Automate. Okay, so here's kind of the thought process in regards to automating cleanup. Now, right here, I clicked on the bottom. It says I've got 48 or 49 unused files. Now, that is kind of, I wouldn't say nebulous.
Lex, will you go back and show that didn't show how you got to that point? Will you close that and open it back up?
Let me show you 2 ways to do this, right? First of all, there's one down here, unused files, right there. The other way to do this is you go to Options, Preferences, Reposado. I'm just kidding, man. I know it's repository. Okay,
Jack
see unused files. Yeah, Jack and Coke's treating me right. Okay.
Reposado is the new name.
Reposado and School of Thumb. We're going to keep rolling that with that one. All right, so here's the thing about this. All that means, once it pops open, which I already have done, which is right there. Boom. Nope, there. Okay. So what that means is these are not attached to a package. That doesn't mean they're not being used. I mean, Jordan could be using some of these to build a package, or he's in the process of doing that. So if we automatically just start wiping those out, there's a good chance I'm going to walk over Jordan's work, which I don't want to do. So that's the reason we haven't automated it. It truly is this difficult to clean. So Control All You hit
You click somewhere else after.
Control All, and you click Delete.
All is the A key.
Now, I will make this suggestion. Build a custom folder under there and then exclude the custom folder. So if Jordan's building custom packages, you drop everything under that. And then it becomes significantly easier to know who's using what. So long answer for that, but that's why. And
Yep.
there you go.
We can't automate it just because not tied to a package means it looks unused to us, but it's not necessarily. So we're just giving a bit more
No,
control
we,
to
we
the-
could automate it. We choose not to,
Yes.
so that we don't step on other consoles that might be using this.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We ready to take another one?
No.
All
Yeah,
right.
of course we're ready.
Awesome. All right, guys, this is John T. Hi, guys. I was recently asked to look into removing a specific icon off an end user's taskbar. When I remove the icon from the taskbar folder in File Explorer, the icon persists on the taskbar until the user selects it and then selects whether or not to keep the dead icon or remove it. Thanks, John T.
I'd like to thank Marcel for the answer on this one. Marcel answered this early.
Oh, we did.
At the very beginning of the chat.
Scroll to the top of the chat.
If you scroll to the top of the chat, basically, I think you got to kill the Explorer, right?
Yeah, and then you had some tool that he's also using.
Yeah, we can't scroll, but I was under the opinion Microsoft started making that taskbar sacred for the user, so you couldn't mess with it near as much. But apparently, you still can.
That was the goal. It turns out they wanted it sacred from the people in the company from controlling it, not them.
Not them.
They still want to be able to control
They
all
still
that.
want to be able to put a bunch of crap on there. Okay, so again, it eventually clears after 1 or 2 reboots.
I think that's for the previous question, or is that for the icon? I don't know.
Clearing the icons. I think it clears the icons. So
Okay.
All right, next question.
Alrighty, guys. Another one from D North. I see a message. Oh, no.
Oh,
we
yeah.
already looked at this one. I'm so sorry, guys.
Come on, other Kelly.
I can.
Yeah, ugh.
Other Kelly.
Really
Is that
good.
what we're calling you? Other Kelly now?
All right, we're back. All right, let's see. This one is from N. Deagle. I don't know how to say that one. Sorry, folks. Anyways, will PDQ Inventory ever integrate vendor warranty checks? HP, Microsoft, Dell, etc.
Will we integrate it? I don't think we'll do it. You can do it. We've got a webcast. I think it's Power User Tips and Tricks, or just look up Tips and Tricks, where we've got some PowerShell that will actually take and go take a look at your Dell warranty tag and open the Dell website, pop that in for you so you can get that information. I will tell you this, just in the last, 6 to 8 weeks, just thinking of things that we could automate because, well, I'm lazy. Jordan, you're lazy?
Very lazy.
And just trying to get things. You laughing over there, Shane? You're lazy too, buddy.
It just struck as too true.
I'm sorry. I love the absolute confirmation from Jordan. Very lazy.
Very lazy.
I take it very. It's a serious. It's a core value.
It is. But the thing I have found in the last 6 weeks is we have been able to do pretty much everything we've thought of using PowerShell in regards to kicking off a scan to go run PowerShell and pull data. You could run a scan that would go actually and pull that information. Watch this. Hey, Jordan, do you think we write PowerShell that could pull warranty information?
So I've looked into the Dell one specifically, and they do have an API where you absolutely can pull all that.
Okay.
But you have to go in and set yourself up as an admin within their site, and then add your service tags, and then from there you can use their tool to query just about anything. So as long as you can go in and pull that tag, you should be able to do all kinds of queries. It would even be able to send an alert if it shows as some sort of hardware failing. It's pretty robust, but it requires a lot of setup on something that we can't control.
Once again, guys, work up front so that you can be lazy in the back end. So
Colby, the old Colbster. If you scroll up on the chat, you'll see a link where he points to, I think, what you were referencing to, you guys.
thanks. So yeah, you can do it. Be lazy like us, and I bet you can figure it out.
Yeah, it's just like Dell and Lenovo or HP both specifically wanted you to sign up with their accounts set up as you're in charge of this environment. So
Probably
it makes
a good thing.
Yeah, it makes
A
it
little more
hard for us
secure.
to go in and
Write that for you.
automate it. Yeah.
All right, next question.
Alrighty, guys. Let's see. This one's from Michael S. Can network discoveries be scheduled in PDQ Inventory?
All right, so to get to network discovery, right, you're going to go to computers, add computers, network discovery. Now, I can think of no better way to piss off your security guy than start kicking off a bunch of these automatedly. There we go. School of thumb, reposado, automatedly. Use those today in your everyday.
You know, I'm glad you're keeping track because it's so tiring keeping track of all your humiliating events.
Is that really the case? My guess is the security guy. So here's the thing. There is no way to automate this. Again, we did this specifically because...
He says he is the security guy.
Well, okay.
So-
Well, we didn't do that because of that reason. We were concerned that we were going to piss off some people.
Lex, it scares me because you used to be our security guy.
Have you noticed you replaced me? Did you notice that?
Oh, absolutely, I noticed it, but it's only bringing back. This is some post-traumatic stress stuff going on over here. I'm just like, oh, Lex.
It's rule of thumb, Lex, but Lexier. I agree. School of thumb, baby. School of thumb. Use it today. All right. So no, there's not a way to do it. Sorry.
All right.
Let's move on to other things that I can humiliate myself with.
You're doing great.
Am I?
Humiliating yourself,
I'm
not
on
answering.
top of the game today.
Okay, next question. All right, guys, go ahead.
Alrighty. Let's see. I'm convinced these names are just to mess me up. The RSUL ham, that's your name now. The Microsoft Teams machine wide package fails to update. Step 1 of the package checks if Teams is installed. Once it finds it is, it fails out and won't update to the new version. Will it cause a problem if I disable step 1?
That I don't know off the top of my head. Go ahead. I'm downloading the package to see if there's any notes in there. Go ahead.
The question for that one is I don't know if it's already installed, if the step 2 will update anyway, or if it's already installed, it will just try to do a fresh install and fail. Like, I can't imagine that's the case where it's Microsoft Teams. They're probably moving
Look at
towards
what
the-
Colby, right there, you guys.
Yeah.
Look at what Colbster wrote. Look at what Colbster wrote from the description. It is in the description. Colby
I'm pulling that
reads.
up. Check it out.
There we go.
I'm,
Yep.
I'm already there.
All right, so run the
Properties,
uninstaller first
text.
and then the installer because it can't do the update. You go right in the package. Okay, look at that.
So here's the thing, guys. A lot of these packages sometimes require, like anytime you do in VNC, you want to change the password. Always check those descriptions because if there are things just like this, it's going to be in there for you, okay?
Yeah, and number 3, it says in there, it's designed to auto-update through group policy. So looks like they've made it difficult to use not group policy to do
Not
it.
group policy. Use not group policy, okay.
Hey Lex, honestly, Lex, will you just show a description? Open a package from the package library and show the description. I've been amazed. No, it's
right
a
here.
usability on our right there. Just oh, I'm not seeing. There we go. Yeah, on the properties. A lot of people don't go to that top node on the properties, but that's where we have our description for the package.
Now, the question I've got, I believe it is even possible to see this here, right? Description.
Probably not right in there.
No, not right. It's
some
hard
of
to read, but it is there. Look.
Yeah, someone in the chat said they built their own that does the uninstall package. So you could build a nested step or nested
Oh, yeah.
package where
Okay.
it does the uninstall first no matter what, then
And
installs.
then does the install. Yeah.
And that would guarantee everyone's up to date. That's not a bad idea.
I like it. I would do that. Cool.
All right.
Now dead air for Kelly.
All right, guys, next question.
Awesome. Let's see. This is another one from D North. Inventory shows machines with 20H2 and 20H1, but I do not see corresponding updates in deploy. What gives?
What gives?
So I believe with some of the later ones, the cumulative updates for both the latest ones are the same.
Pop this up. I'm going to show you. Check it out. Boom and boom. And, highlighter.
Yep.
JJ didn't even have to tell me. Check it out right there.
Yeah, so right now with the cumulative updates, there isn't individual ones for those specific ones. So as they come out, like if 21H1 has its own, it will break out on its own. But until then,
Well, I think
just
the
all
other
one
nice
package.
thing is it's one. Now, let me show you something else that'll just help you guys out. In Windows 1809 is also your 2019 cumulative server. The KB is the same. So if you look here again, 1607 is your 2016 server. So when I do filters for certain things, right, let's just go filter on those specific, what is it, 20H1, 20H2, 21H1, whatever it is, if you know what the filter is supposed to be, there we go. Okay? I'd go after that specific and it will show for you. So it makes it a little easier that way. That filter kicks butt.
Nice
it's pretty good.
filtering.
It took me a minute, but I got it.
Okay, next question.
Sweet. Let's see. This one is Net in Box. Hi, is there an automated way for copying custom variables defined in PDQ Inventory to PDQ Deploy? Deploy and Inventory currently do not share variables.
No, they don't. I'm going to let you answer this while I go to the GitHub.
All right, yes. So this is one we worked on in a different webcast where we have some PowerShell where we'll copy down from one and copy over to the other. So it's not automated within the product, but we do have a PowerShell script that can help you with that.
Now, I just went to, you pop this up for us, Jake. I went to our GitHub. There it is. And if you go, I believe it's under bonus content. You find all the PowerShell we do in the webcasts under bonus content, automated packages. I believe it's under that one.
Auto update bars. Top
Right there, auto update your variables. And I'd read this to you, but we all know I can't read, or at least I'm going with that today. But that'll help you out on how to make that happen.
Yep. So not natively, but with a little bit of work. There's some extra stuff in that you're gonna want to cut out, but using some ideas from that, you can absolutely get it.
There you go. Plagiarize that thing. Turn it into what you want.
Lex, I think we received a letter from the Jordan School District asking us to not have you reference or even try
Where I
to
went
read
to
anymore
school?
because it shows poorly upon the school district from whence you hail.
Hey, oh man, I had a comment that I would get in so much trouble for right now, but just know, in your face, man, in your face.
I got the high quality Butte, Montana education, and it shows.
I love it. I love it. Should we do another one?
Yes,
While
definitely.
we're done insulting me for a whole second.
Nope.
No, we're
All
not.
Look at this. We got a regular name, Russell G. Thank you, Russell. What are your recommendations for PDQ and to image systems?
So for PDQ to image systems, man, we're hitting some home runs today. If you go to PDQ, YouTube.
Colby has these answers.
He's unbelievable.
Every answer is like he's already got it chambered.
It's like he's gone through.
It's like
all
he's
the
read the
pending
questions and he knows the answers.
Queued them up and found all the answers.
Surprise, surprise. Well, let me show you how to go find different ways to do this, right? So you go to our YouTube channel. Okay, right here on this menu bar right here. Okay, find this guy right here, little magnifying glass, and put an image. Ing. And if you spell it right the first time, you should. Okay, imaging with fog. This right here, simplifying imaging with deploying inventory. Basically, here is the gist of this. You know, find a way that you like to lay down the image and put the drivers on, add it to Active Directory, and then if you watch each of these, they have different ways of going in and kicking off or scheduling a baseline or some kind of software stack to run against the machines.
We're not going to handle the initial image, like your gold
There you
image,
go.
but what we pick up after that image is done to make sure everything's up to date.
Yeah. So again, there's WDS. So I think we got some that'll take you actually through a little WDS or MDT. But yeah, that's how I would do it.
Yeah. So
And the nice thing is that baseline package will stay up to date because of auto downloads. So if you the problem with imaging, right? You build the image in January. By August, you're building a machine, and it takes 3 days to update because everything's out of date. So this way, you don't have to do that. It'll just install the latest and greatest for you.
Nice.
So the takeaway is Colby doesn't have to work hard to make us look dumb, but he chooses to work hard to make us look extra dumb.
This is his hobby now.
Time out. You think we look dumb?
Compared to Colby?
That's
not even a question.
Maybe that's
Not
a
even a
good point.
question.
All right.
This is his hobby, guys.
His hobby is making us look like idiots or knowing the question before us or the answer. Either way, I love it. Let's move on.
Great. Next question. Here we go.
Alrighty, guys, we got one from Curtis J here. We got another regular name. Thank you. Let's see. I'm assuming this is, did you know how to turn off Google File Stream? Now Google Drive, Chrome _debug _log files? Question mark.
So right off the top of my head, I got to say, I don't know how. I mean,
It's not one that I've done a deep dive into on tracking it down. I imagine if there's an uninstaller that you can find, you could build any uninstall package and send that out
That's a good
globally.
point.
But I don't have any specifics for that one. I haven't really.
Google Drive. Let's see if we got. Okay, here's a way to check for uninstall strings on your machines, right? So we're going to go to, Bugs Bunny. Hopefully we got under applications. Do we have Google Drive on here? No. Why don't we do this? I'll build a collection. We'll find a machine with Google Drive. All right, we'll call this G Drive. Okay, we are looking for any machine machine. Hang on. Oh, there it is. Any machine with an application name that contains, well, let's look for Drive or Google Drive. Let's look at Drive first. That'll narrow it down.
I'm not sure.
Maybe Google. We'll get everything with Chrome.
I'm just having fun watching you.
Well, let's do this. We'll just go with Drive because then I can hopefully 29. It's about half of them. Let's go look at Guinness. Maybe do we have Google Drive on Guinness? Google Chrome. Something else.
So
Drive.
something else has Drive, yeah.
Anyway, once you find that, right? If it's on here,
Use the filter. It's right there.
It's not on that machine though.
OneDrive.
That's what we find it.
Maybe we find Google and Drive. Anyway, where I'm going with this, right? Once you find a machine that has that, Google Chrome, Microsoft Drive, you're going to right-click, uninstall, and get the uninstall string, at which point you should be able to uninstall. Just remember, if it's an exe, you still need to have the uninstall string. Or the silent parameters for the uninstall
I'd be surprised
string.
if Google did something with the exe. So the other thing that could be is this uninstall string works, but if it's installed per user, not per machine, you may need to run something as the logged on user and run the uninstall string that way.
That's a good point.
But yeah, so without diving into it, we can't give you specifics. It can be uninstalled. It's just if it's local machine, there's some extra steps to take, and if each version has its own custom GUID, there's no single uninstall string that's going to do it for you. I guess you could update everything to the latest and then do the uninstall.
That's a good point. I can't let this go. Do we have a Google Drive collection? Oh, we do. Check it out. Google Drive.
And
7 machines with an old version. So, sorry, I can't let it go. There it is. Boom. Right click, uninstall.
Oh, it is an exe, so that means it's probably going to be unique. So with that string that they have there, because the folder name is version specific. So
Anyway.
you're going to want to change the /version number / to just asterisk. And that way it will look in file stream under each folder and find the uninstall exe.
There you go.
And then Colby put a link into a script. There's a PowerShell script that goes into registry for local users and finds every uninstall string and runs that if you need it. That works pretty well.
That's true. And again, there may be something in the package library for you.
All right, next question.
All right, guys, we got Santat here. Will inventory ever be able to grab vendor warranty dates or purchase dates? The other question is, will inventory ever be able to gather network devices other than workstations and servers like printers and copiers, etc.?
Okay, so we already answered the first one in regards to warranty dates and purchase dates, grabbing that. That you're going to have to get from the vendor. You can put it in custom fields, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. As for gathering network devices, here's the interesting thing. If you do go and do that network discovery under computers, network discovery, basically it's going to go out and do a ping, and anything that answers, it's going to try and resolve the name, and it will add it. So there is a chance you're going to grab network stuff. However, obviously this is .NET based, so grabbing anything beyond that in regards to your network devices, unless they're .NET
It
based.
could pull in a printer, and then you could set it to not scannable, which gives you some fields you can manually customize to give you a few options, but we're not going to be able to interact with it the way we can with Windows devices.
Good point. Good point. So, yeah. Can we grab them? Yeah. Can we do anything with it? Not so much at this point. So.
All right, guys.
Well, actually, so you can, like Jordan said, you can mark it as don't scan, but you've got this listed as like an IP phone or a printer, and then you can have tools that.
Oh yeah, I guess you
tools
could.
that can act on that. Either go to the open up, access the web
HTTPS,
interface for it,
yeah, the
or
web
change
interface.
parameters that need to be changed on it. I mean, you can act on it. It's not going to scan like a normal Windows machine. You're not going to deploy to it, but there's some things you can do with tools.
Let me just show tools really quick. So to get to tools, obviously you go to tools, and under tools here you want to go to customize. So there's the tools library. These are pre-built, so you could come down here and say, apparently you got to not click on the wrong thing like I just did. I'm not allowed to use the mouse anymore. It's like no keyboards for me and no mice. But if you look through here, there is HTTP. Where is it? Tools library.
There's connect to IP via something.
Use the filter.
What? You want me to filter
God, it's
HTTP?
there.
Apparently,
Looks
I
like
can't.
you
We have
Yes.
a bunch of other questions. We're going to do a
All
speed
right,
round
fair
after
enough.
this. So
But there is, okay, build a tool, you can do it. Thank you, Shane. Not really.
Yeah, so I guess if you're familiar with the command line, you can build tools to interact with
Boom.
those.
There you go.
Awesome.
Guys, it's time for a speed round.
Dun, dun, dun.
Speed round.
Answer this very fast.
Yeah, good luck.
All right. From Doug K. I used to have a view in Deploy of all deployments, which allowed me to see what other users were pushing out and what auto updates were going out. That has disappeared. Did I miss something, and can I get it back?
I don't think we've changed that. So if we go to all deployments, we've done some deployments here, right? So here's my deployments. You look under the target for, apparently this went to Penelope. If you scroll over, when it started, when it ran, how long it ran, and what the deploy user was. All right here, man. Now the other thing you can do is you can go over to inventory and write a report that says go pull me, and you would look in, let me just show you this. Get rid of that highlighter. If you pull a machine up, again, I like to say, if you can find it in inventory, there's a very good chance you can build a collection or a library on it. You go under deployments, okay? If you take a look at this, right as I scroll over, same information. Deploy user, what console it came from. So you could actually do reports in inventory off of your deployment information. So a couple of different ways to go about that, my friend.
Right on. Okay, let's keep it going.
Alrighty, this one is from Relu. I have Windows 11. When will you update that box in inventory?
First, I want to apologize for you doing. I'm just kidding. Windows 11. That's bold, man. I wouldn't grab that yet.
So I think it's still in the beta,
Yeah.
and I think once it's no longer in beta and official is when we'll be adding stuff along that.
That is exactly it. So I just want to know, how's that working for you, man? I'm kind of interested. I'm a little sketchy, a little scared to do it myself. So
Luckily, we don't have to. They're smarter people.
yeah, that's true. Good point. Good point.
Despite what you see in front of you, PDQ hires a lot of very smart people.
Thanks for calling that out.
Speed round.
What else we got?
Alrighty, guys. This one is from C. Silva. When deploying a package, it is installing it. When deploying a package, it is installing it as the deployed user. Goodness, sorry, guys. Is there a way to run the installation as logged in user?
No more questions for you.
Yeah, goodness.
Or else I should say this: no more Jack for you.
Now we know why Kelly
I may have
doesn't
to take over
drink.
here.
Pinch hitting from Orlando is JJ.
Check it out. I just popped open the deploy window here. I'm deploying 7-zip over under options. Run as logged on user.
If they're
And
not
this
logged
this
on,
can be
it won't
set
go,
at the
though.
package level, and this can also be set at individual step levels. That's the cool thing. So you might have one step that has to be run as the logged on user, and the rest as an administrator or a deploy user. So this is what's cool. Is once again, you can do it at the package level or at the step level.
Or the deployment level. Very good.
Nice. All right. Continuing on.
Alrighty, guys. We got another complicated name. Asarama, I think. All right. Patch Tuesday broke our printing, but only for one user on a RDP server. Ask for admin credits when trying to print, even though we don't use point to print. MS says to use MSC, MECM, or an equivalent tool to remotely install printer drivers. Is PDQ that equivalent tool? Thoughts on how I do that?
I love it. We can tell you're not a tech guy just because the way you read those.
Yeah, goodness gracious.
At this point, yeah, Kelly would have said blah blah blah.
blah.
nerd,
I was
nerd,
about
nerd,
to.
tech
Nerd,
Goodness.
nerd, blah, blah.
So Colby already quoted it. I wrote a blog using PowerShell to install drivers. You have to make sure the drivers are signed, but that script you can use inventory deploy to push that out to the machine. It will install the driver as long as they are signed.
There you go.
Colby's answered it 3 times
I want to also say
with
this,
3
right?
different correct answers.
Before you guys could do it once.
But to be fair, he linked to the blog I wrote.
Yeah.
I'm
So
kidding.
I'm still claiming this one.
Claim you get this one. I give this one to you.
Jordan gets half points.
I want some points for agreeing with Jordan.
There you go.
Definitely got a point there, Jordan. It's
I should get a
material.
participation award, right?
Do you want a green
We're
ribbon?
definitely here participating.
I was pretty okay. Next question.
All right.
Alrighty, guys. We got one from Frank B here. In PDQ Inventory, I am noticing that some programs are listed. When I know that the program is uninstalled from the PC, does PDQ Inventory read the registry, and how can I clean it up so it doesn't show false positives?
All right, first thing I definitely want to show you is this. Anytime you do deployments, okay, you need to go to Options, Preferences, and set this under Deployments. You need to make sure it scans after, okay? Applications or standard. Because once you've either added or removed something, you definitely need to update inventory, right? Because we don't run those scans 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You'd want to punch, well, Jordan in the face, right? Not me.
Yep.
Yeah, what you're looking at in inventory is not real time. What you're looking at in inventory is based off the last scan. So we've made it easy here. After you've made a deployment, you can just say, oh, by the way, scan this computer, and just make sure that the profile that you're using to scan looks for the application. In this case, looks for applications.
Also, I want to point this out. Let's say you wanted to onesie twosie uninstall something, right? So I go into inventory, I right click, I'm going to uninstall Chrome. You need to make sure you go down here and do a scan after, again, to your application so that, again, it'll uninstall it. You just need to make sure inventory gets updated. That should take care of you.
So if he is scanning after and the applications are still showing up, that he's absolutely right. It is a registry. There's no static, this will find that registry and delete it. So if you find the registry for that one, you can write a PowerShell thing to go through and clean that up, and it will remove it for you. It's just going to require a little bit of research.
Yeah. So if you've done those other two steps, it's still there. Check your registry.
All right, guys. We got 4 questions left.
Man,
Let's keep it rolling.
we're hitting all those under a minute, right?
Doing good. All right, this one is from Administrator. Hey guys, I'm a happy PDQ Deploy user and testing inventory. PDQ Deploy is really fast, but inventory is dead slow. I mean, when I hit to F6 to scan a client, it takes like 10 to 15 minutes to finish. All clients are connected through cable on gigabit. No network, no LAN, speed or internet issues.
So there's a few with this one. If you have a lot of clients, there's concurrent scans where we're limiting how often it can, or how many you can run at once. And if you're defaulting to the general scan, it's scanning a bunch of stuff to limited machines. So if you only run the general scan like once every 7 days, and then every time else you do the application scan, that will be faster. Also, if you can bump up the concurrent, which if you want to open the preferences on that one,
I would love to.
bump the
Option.
concurrent, it should hit more. We tested this a lot when we were doing the monitoring PowerShell on how fast we could go, and we got pretty high up on concurrent scans with our network. So if you've got a fast network, you can bump this up pretty high and cut out a lot of time on that one.
But it also, Colby's put a great link up there, but it's also, Administrator, important. What type of, honestly, is this, what kind of hard drive are you using? Is this an old-fashioned spinning drive? Do you have this on persistent state? Like what that's a huge thing. Also the amount of memory. But we've seen bottlenecks be the writing, and especially if it's just an older disk. So memory is huge. The disk is huge. These things can really, along
Affect
with what
performance,
said,
yeah.
performance. But look at the link that Colbster put up there, and these guys nailed it too.
All right. Okay, here we go. Let's continue the speed
Awesome,
round.
guys. Here we go. This one is D. Weathersby. Our company wants us to use inventory for all IT inventory, including monitors and docks. Are there any future plans to be able to manually add the names of these devices without having to import them from Excel? We use custom fields to enter the rest of the information.
D. Weathersby.
Well, Mr. Withersby, I don't know why I wanted to Dr. Evil after saying that. But
Just
okay.
drink your Coke with your pinky up. Yeah.
All right, so here's the thing. The way to do it, you are doing it the way to do it right now is with custom fields. Is there, are we planning to do this in the future? Man, it's the future. It's possible. A lot of things could happen.
So if they're doing the Excel and they're manually importing or updating, it could take a long time. We do have the CLI that they can use as long as they have their proper computer name, they can use that to update all those custom fields in one go
That's right.
with that tool. But if they're using that and they're looking for something faster, we don't have that yet.
So
All right, there you go. Continuing on,
guys.
2 questions left.
Here we go. This one is from T. Moyer. Will PDQ Deploy ever have the ability to prompt me for a value when running a deployment package, instead of me having to modify a step before I send it? For instance, have a package that prompts me for the username of an end user that needs to have their profile removed from a machine X del proof 2.
Example del prof 2.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So the issue with that one is once you deploy it, it's running on their machine. It's no longer on your machine. So we can't have the pop up on your machine there. If you don't want to go in and modify the package, you could replace the name you're putting in there in the package with a custom variable, and then it's easier to update the variable.
You do that. You could put a parameter in there.
Yeah.
But then again, you'd have to modify the package. But the variable would be much easier. Yeah.
So the variable, as long as it's
Okay.
a variable, you can just change that, send it through, and it would go. But where it's running
Just-
on a remote machine,
It has to be done before. Yeah, it won't prompt you. Okay, so here's the thing. Variables are under options. Variables, right? You put username and username, and then obviously we put in Captain Sexy, right? And you could reference that in the package, and then you just do this before you kick it off, and there you go.
It would be a little bit faster than the package itself. And Colby put in the chat a link to a workaround, it looks like, that may work. So if you can see the chat there, I would take a look at that and see if it will fit your needs. And I apologize, D. Weathersby, for that. That is a she. Called
Withersby. Yeah,
Just like that last name, that's all.
I do love it.
Okay, guys. Oh, we've gotten a few more, so let's keep it rolling.
Keep going.
Here we go. All right, this one is D. Martin. Any plans on creating a PowerShell scanner for Microsoft Edge extensions?
This is the first I've thought of it. We absolutely can.
Yeah.
If
that
you
actually is a pretty good idea. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, if you are familiar with PowerShell, we have the scanner repo. You could go put your own submission. We can get that added. If it's something you're not comfortable with, I believe they're meeting today internally to talk about the scanners that are pending. I will make a note, send that over to them, and we can see if we can't get that added.
Just, when those things get added, they are added in the GitHub under PowerShell scanners. I just popped that up. Go to your PowerShell scanners and check it out. Tons
It
of
looks
cool.
like Colby already has it. Pull request 54.
What a
Well,
surprise.
he
huh?
said that will scan for Chromium-based browser extensions. I think the question was about.
Edge is Chromium based now.
I didn't. Oh, jeez.
It's been
Fantastic
a
way
while,
to go,
hasn't it,
Ed.
Shane?
Yeah, Edge finally came. I apologize.
There you go.
All right. 2 more.
All right.
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, what do we do?
D North is getting all the getting all
we
the
good.
love today.
We are
got all
masters
the-
of suspense.
That
Here
was
we go.
I love
It's
it.
really weird.
Is there a way to clean up old Windows Store app folders once a newer version is installed? This is the folder, blah, blah, blah stuff.
There you go. I love it. Blah, 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 nerd.
So
Go for it.
That folder is a mess that goes in there. I don't even have an idea how to start to parse through to find on the latest. I'm not sure if I would mess with that because it seems like
You
an
could
easy
do bad really fast.
Yeah, so I can't think of a way to do that without taking significant risk to deleting important things for your apps.
So if you're a gambling man,
Yeah. And Ron said the apps is easily managed with PowerShell. That will manage if it's installed or not, but the folder itself will maintain that if whether or not you've removed it or
Yeah.
added it that way. So cleaning that up can be it's very loaded up at this point.
loaded is a good way to call that.
All right, guys.
Loaded is a good way to describe us right now.
Loaded, and we're getting there.
Final question of the day.
Here we go. This one is Christina G. How can I install a printer with PDQ and make it the default? GPO doesn't always work. Christina.
Well, we do have a webcast that we went in and showed you how to install printers. I do want to say this right out the gate, right? The right tool for the right job. So again, I would start with the GPO. If the GPO doesn't work, PDQ YouTube. Has Colby already beat me to this?
No, he quoted for the app and
Okay.
LinkedIn
I
apps.
was just T Moyer.
And here we go. Let's just go take a look, and we'll look up printers here. How to deploy printers. Follow along. Josh and Lex, hour and 5 minutes. You're going to need a strong cup of coffee to watch that one. So that should help you out. It can be done.
Someone in the chat put in, looks like something you could run from command prompt that would make the one you're looking for. There's a great module for printers within PowerShell. You could do the same.
Yep.
You just need to know, if you know which one you want it to be, you can write the PowerShell for that one or the command prompt and get that updated.
There you go.
There you go, guys. Okay,
that it?
that's it.
Well, that's awesome, guys.
Are we
Let
ready
me throw
to-
this out here right now real quick before we go a little too far. I'm going to grab, let's see, Russell G and Curtis J. If you guys would like to get merch for participating in the show today, please email webshow at pdq.com.
Webcast at
Webcast.
Thank you, people. Webcast at
Go ahead and
pdq.com.
hit that intro, Jake.
I love the new guy. It's always fun.
Heck yeah.
Chase, you already gave me in the pre-show. You said
You
to go
have been
after you,
adequate,
baby.
sir.
You're just giving me some.
There's some
ammo.
ammo
I'm
there.
just trying to give you guys something
And I
to
messed
do.
up Chromium, so I'm going after you too.
Hey, as a school of thumb, it's always good to. I'm just kidding. Hey guys, I'm Lex.
I'm Jordan at PDQ.com.
I'll catch y'all later.
Thanks everybody for watching. Tune in every Thursday for our webcast at PDQ.
PDQ.
Enjoy. Thank you so much, everybody.